Part
And we're back for part 2.
Oh, there you go, Glenn. Any more phone calls?
Keep dropping out of a parachute. Oh, sorry, guys.
What's that, sorry? Keep dropping out of what?
Like you're dropping out of a parachute.
I do it? Yeah, that's what we do. It's a parachute show. Tournaments, Glenn?
Yeah, great tournament on Saturday. Yet again, I'm just a ducky. Oh, mate, one, I can't remember who it
Nancy.
was.
We'll just continue to start favourite.
Who, me?
Yeah. They just put up 6-4. These odds I lay.
Why do I always think I'm like 11-2 at everything I do in life? There's 400 runners.
Well,
I got a poker
that's But how do you win unless you think you're a big hope? How do you win anything unless you go into it thinking I'm a big hope?
Yeah.
Maybe you
If
might.
you go into it thinking you're 50 cents, you've got no hope.
Well, I had nothing. I was going to put my whole bank's first bet. He's our Rocky. I just put it all in. It's an easy bet to have. I think there's only 2 possible winning numbers. I'm going to get $6.40, 10. I forgot to do it. I'm fucking busy.
You might have to Costanza.
Do the opposite.
Do the opposite. Go in thinking your 50s. Go in thinking your 500s.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Ralphie has said, but anyway, Glenn, before we get into that, 25,000
Another
tournaments.
25,000 this week.
$110 buy-in.
I think the next few weeks we're doing 25 at Top Better, so $110 buy-in.
And that builds into the big one for the Brisbane Carnival too, which I suppose is not, we're going to be there pretty quickly.
It'll be there before. Were you going to be in town when the Brisbane Carnival one's on?
Probably not. No.
You mightn't be, yeah.
No.
There it was. Dale having a holiday.
Who knew?
Well, you've got to take a holiday every 10 years, don't you? Like?
Yes, occasionally. Yeah, I think.
Good job, Dale.
Yeah, lovely. All right.
Anyway, so get on board this week and they guarantee 50% prize for first. We had 292 people with the starts and the rebuys, which gave a pool of 29,000. And we got 14,600. 14,600 is not a bit of money.
Yeah. And as we said too, like tactically, if you wanted to play for that monkey or thereabouts too, it's a pretty easy aim too.
Plus there's tournaments during the week to win your 110.
Yep. Oh, and there'll be for that, and we mentioned it last week as well too. There'll be a free tournament on Friday. I think it's again for Punter Show followers. So you know we're getting quite a few people in that. Get you a Punter Show pack, but it's the training wheels.
And can you imagine you're out there, you're old mate, you're working. You're a forklift driver. Let's say that. Like you're an old mate. You like the races. You get to play a few tournaments during the week. Hate your missus. You've been married for 20 years. Don't even want to look at her. Next thing you're in a tournament on the Saturday. Yeah, I'm just mucking around here. You know, you haven't even to get 110 out of your budget because you got in from some $10 or $20 tournament. Next thing is 14,600 in your account. You're not telling him cheese and kisses.
What are you doing with it?
Oh, it's your betting. It's yours. So get on board. Just make sure you change your bank account details before you get transferred out. Nothing.
Ralphie has said, a non-parochial question. Has the Melbourne, this is Ralphie Horowitz, our good mate in Melbourne, of course, and part of the Melbourne Punter Show. A non-parochial question. Has the Melbourne form held up in Sydney better this year, slipper aside? It seemed to. Any theories?
Yes. Yes is the answer.
Is Randwick the key?
At Rosehill we had Malagarra, we had Tarzino.
He's our rock. Oh, no, hang on.
He's our rock. He's Randwick twice. Gardini has come up from Melbourne. What else is one? Oh, the filly, Miss Rock.
Yeah. Miss Rock, first up.
The Oaks winner came from New Zealand. That's like Melbourne.
Oh, and the Derby winner came from New Zealand.
Yeah. There it was.
Craig Newitt held his form well.
Oh, here we go. I won't make any commentary about these 15 people walking past us.
You won't.
Can I say one thing at all?
No, you're not going to say one
You
thing.
said you'd make no comment.
You make no commentary.
Can I say one thing? No?
I'm not, as long as I don't have to edit it.
All right, you won't have to edit it.
Okay.
Welcome to Australia.
Ian goes on. So, any more theories on the Melbourne horses?
Look, the way that I don't know, probably canny placement. I don't know. The way the Melbourne Carnival is structured, it should feed well. You know, you've got some Bonza racing at Caulfield and Flemington, and those horses come up here revved up. But you know, it hasn't necessarily worked that well in the past. Obviously, there's a hollowness to our racing. It's probably you know, where we've got blue colours that are a bit off the. We've got a missing gay.
Yeah.
We had a missing gay for sure.
Yeah, and even we mentioned Joe Pride as, you know, he's what, 4th or 5th?
Well, Joe Pride's current standing means that Amarada trades at what on the fair at the death? 12 to 1 or something?
11.50 or something.
Yeah.
Like big odds.
Yeah.
So
You know,
like,
they're, you know, a little gun first up, but overlooked because of the way the trainer's perceived as going.
So you're suggesting that some of our leading, the reason being that some of the leading stables aren't leading.
Well, there's
no
a
gay.
hollowness to our
No
racing.
gay, no a shake. So Waller conquers a couple of days and has a
Yeah,
last day
and even
off.
as we mentioned, the Waller
So
second
was
run
Peter
is on.
Snowden pretty quiet during the carnival, except for Capitalists.
Well, the thing about Peter
It's
Snowden
just-
is that
Well, that is the forgotten race, isn't it?
what was that race?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
thing about Peter Snowden is his record at provincials is amazing, and his record in town is solid. But it's almost as if
Still building the stable to get the group horses.
like maybe his city team is not quite as devastating as.
Oh, I think that's a fair call.
And you know, he is okay. So he picked up a ton of tried horses, like mainly the O'Shea horses. His 2-year-olds this year, he's got hundreds of 2-year-olds. So that's promise of being more potent in 2 years' time.
Yeah. Nice 2-year-old that came and went. What was that 2-year-old he had earlier that ran second to Capitalists, third to Capitalists?
In the
Early races. And then went to the Wyong race and the Magic Millions race and ran third there. It's a nice 2-year-old.
Nicolance that we got off Moses.
That one. Where's it?
Well,
No,
he'd had about 5 runs and trials in about 3 weeks to
No.
get to the Magic Millions.
Yeah, and it just busted. Yeah, I don't know.
But busted?
I don't know. It just off it popped. Yeah.
They
But
had 3
you got to
trainers
remember
in the
too.
space of 3
No,
days as well.
It did.
Moses, Jimmy Lee, and then
Jimmy
Snowden.
Lee was the sidekick there for a week.
but you got to remember too that Snowden's made his success primarily in those 2 and 3-year-old races as well too. Because anything that was, with the Derby
Yeah,
operation and
yep.
that, anything that was any good was overseas.
Course.
Yep, he's in bowl. Ian has said we said lunchtime party today. Like, is it Hawaiian? It's Hawaiian shirt day today. Trousers optional. No.
He's going away soon.
Ian, hi guys. Chris Collar, we mentioned that part of it. The pace was slow, yes. Also, someone on Twitter posted the stewards report for day 2 of the championships. I looked at it. To be honest, it's the first steward reports I've seen. Anyway, for the Oaks, it had Kieran Maher fined a couple of $100 for leaving the course too soon after a race. Does this happen often? And what the fuck, given he had the favourite in the race, Jamaica, and a favourite and eventual winner in another Group 1 later in the day? I
saw Kieran Maher in the betting ring there. He's a good style of bloke. Absolutely hot sheller with him. No wonder he left the course pretty quick.
There you go.
Isn't it? It's always a bit sus when they sort of rack off with the horse straight after the race, isn't it?
Oh no.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's like, are they just filthy dirty? That,
They didn't say the horse left early, they said Kieran Maher left early. I don't think Kieran Maher
I think-
whacked it in the taxi and went back to the 5-star hotel he
I
was
think the
staying.
horse was taken off the course straight away. I'm sure that's what happened in the steward's report.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Maybe it was the shield of the horse and him. Maybe he's a bit more odder than round here with pants off or optional.
Anyway,
Dave, let's hear it.
anyway, speaking, can I just butt in here and say, should we make a takeover bid for the stewards? Because it's going to be a bit hollow in about a month's time.
Well, losing Rudy, going to Hawkesbury.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see Rudy having a bet like Fletcher used to. That'd be great.
and
Who else?
right?
Ray's going.
Yeah. So in a month's time, there'll be a stewards panel ripe for a takeover.
Yeah.
Maybe we should launch the Punters show into the stewards.
Well, that means
takeover.
number one's going to be this Van Gestel. He's number one for sure.
Yeah.
I actually said to Lee on Saturday, the betting show, I said, who's going to be number 2? I'm not going to tell you who said number 2 will be. He said it would be me.
That's right. He said Terry's chipped away all these years, and I've just walked into 2IC.
He's 2IC for sure. It's up against nobody.
Anyway, David has said,
David's a regular show, so
I've just started to play some free from top better tournaments to get the hang of it. I've been entering some free tournaments with mixed success. Entered the Punters Show tournament on Thursday, which was cancelled due to 2 race meetings being abandoned. You should mention, Glenn, that we found out something during the week that I think we had, was it 3 on the Thursday, and if 50% of the meetings are called off, the tournament's off. We only found that out when nobody could bet on it halfway through the day because there were 2 meetings called off.
Automatically activates.
Yeah, it automatically activates. Yeah, we didn't know why, but that's what happened. But so we gave everybody the free Manning Yard mail from you, Glenn.
Oh, good on you, Dave.
So big thanks to me for doing that. Good on you,
he
David. Big thanks to
helped-
Jake
he
who actually
writes
did
the
it.
right things here, Dave, because it's about my stuff. He said that he was very happy with the music magnate going to the track, and then when I had it on top and said how well it looked, and then the same thing with prize icon that he increased his bet size. And like I said, with everyone with Manning Mail, please do your own work and then use mine to guide you.
Enhance it.
Maybe if I find something in my numbers that's 20s or 30s, you should always throw something. I know some blokes do. Yep. I know my son does. He puts $50 a week in his Betfair account, and then some Mondays he goes, I got $1,500 in my account.
Beautiful.
Because he looks for a way to spot a roughie.
Yep, alright.
Typical born for me.
Yeah.
For a fucking old mate.
Yep, and just David said thanks for, also, he said enough pissing in our pocket, but thanks for also making our time available to him when we do, which is good to see David at the course on a weekly basis.
Yeah, I agree with what he says here with Cock of the Week, has to be driving Miss Macy. You reached your peak when you wore the mask, you should have a break as they do in all big mini-series. Time for a refresh, make the public wait for its return. I agree with you, Dave. He fucking mentioned to me he thinks he's come to Scone with me,
What's that?
Driving Miss Macy.
Aaron.
Yeah. Oh, you're driving Miss Macy to Scone.
He wants to, so I want to come to Scone.
That's going to be a very long show.
If I do the driving Miss Macy to Scone, right, it's going to be 3.5 hours of me not talking. So it'll be up for an award. Or every 2 hours, but Aaron, change battery. Driving Miss Macy. I did the smoking story on driving Miss Macy.
The smoking story came out.
You know when I was going to do on the Puntershow, I did it on driving Miss Macy.
Yeah.
Oh, well, good job. It's done.
So I don't need to do it ever again.
There you go.
So yeah,
you have done it a few times. I mean, not necessarily on the show. Like I remember hearing the smoking story from you in.
So if you want to see the smoking story, driving Miss Macy.
Driving Miss Macy is the smoking story.
You were rock solid, Glenn.
Fuck, it's tough work that driving that boy the races. I don't know how I'm going to make it to Rose Hill. I've got an idea for Rose Hill, so I'm sweet. I've worked something. I haven't told him yet.
Simon has said, just wanted to say I really enjoyed the John Malter's reviews from the 10 race card from Randwick last Saturday video. Great stuff. John Malter is a great addition to the team and he is going very well.
A workaholic. I mean, you've got to admire his work ethic, John Malter. You know, he just puts in all the time. And you know, he's so passionate.
Yeah.
Like, we sort of need to hold him up as an example of, you know, of how you can get engaged.
Well, gambling's not looked upon as a dirty thing, but an engaging part of your life.
Yeah.
Well, it is looked upon as dirty, filthy. You know, a la the stories of last week. That's not a good look, son.
Well, with the form guide, with the bookie from out wide, exactly. From Pete, in which he touches on something along those lines as well too. First, it's the stewards.
He says hashtag Puntershow, love your work. First, Al.
Hi at Puntershow, love your work. Yeah.
From Pete.
From Peter. Pete. Now this was in a piece that Aaron put together on the whip rules, and I know Zach Purden's come out this morning again. I think Zach wrote a couple of winners as he usually does in Hong Kong, and said, well, if he was riding in a stupid jurisdiction like Sydney, he wouldn't have won on them because he wouldn't be able to ride the horses properly to win. Over here they encourage you to win, there they don't.
Well put.
Go Zach.
Well, they look. Yeah. Sorry, Dale.
Zach, you actually got to. Well, Zach comes back Carnival. He was told by Terry Bailey in Melbourne how to ride, that, you know, that you can't do this, you can't do that. Zach doesn't mind telling him to get stuff, does he?
He's hard not to like.
Yeah.
He's a boy, Zach. Don't worry about that.
Firstly, if the stewards' rules of racing don't think the whip assists the horses to run faster, shouldn't they ban them entirely? Surely they should provide some scientific evidence to suggest this in the first place. Might I suggest having a few trials using the same group of, say, 4 horses, exactly maidens who can't gain a start, running on the same ground at the same track and using the whip unrestricted in one set versus no use in the other set. At least then Vince Cardi or someone similar can time the changes in speed according to the whip use overall. According to the whip use. I mean, it would be interesting to do a study, but it'd be very hard. It'd be hard to
set up. But I mean, look, they just want their bit each way. The stewards, they're trying to say it has no effect to pacify people, and they're trying to say we want to limit the use to pacify another group.
Yeah,
just trying to have a bit each way. It's like the Spurs, them saying, "Oh, the Spurs don't count."
Don't do anything. Yeah.
You know, if they didn't count, they could just get rid of them.
Gee, you get 2 nails stuck into your buttocks at the end of a 200-metre running race at school. I bet you run the next 20 metres pretty quick. Yeah, like you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
so he's a 27.
So what's going to happen? How are you going to approach racing when they ban the whip?
Well, they're going to ban the whip though.
Yeah, it'll happen.
What about when they?
I suppose
it's not far away.
I'll jump that hurdle when I get to it.
What's your thought about it?
Well, we're looking for riders who ride best hands and heels.
Okay. You'll just have a different emphasis, won't you?
Yeah. I'll still be trying to bet.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Apparently, I mentioned to him, Lester's name again. He's mentioned on the radio on the way in that 2-year-old racing's in the animal liberation side.
Right.
So so there won't be 2-year-old racing. And as Dean said, what's next racing in general? What are you going to do when they cancel racing?
Become a Bricky's apprentice. Overall, go on.
It's pretty typical where racing is heading. I'm a 27-year-old passionate punter, an owner who loves our game on the WA Owners Committee.
Wow.
And I am dismayed by the lack of education to punters and the public. The terrible standards of advertising, agree with me, horses, 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 what the fuck was that? The steward's media obsession with real or perceived illegality and the general disregard of common sense. The genuine good stories are lost and the same old tripe cash crap dished out by Sky Racing, example tipping $1.60 favourites to encourage those in pubs to unload is just horrendous. Anyway, that's the rant part. I would hate to see any harm done to my horses, but I've never seen one of my horses injured or cut from a whip, and certainly never seen one of mine injured from running faster from when a whip being used. They only seem to be injured from poor track standards and being horses in the paddock. Keep up the great work both with the shows and education. It's made me a better punter and a better owner. Pete, from Pete. There you are.
Thank you, Pete. That's very encouraging to hear from you. Because I mean, there could be a lot of people like him, but there's not. I mean, once upon a time there was heaps. Now there's very few, and we hear from them.
Well, and they were all mainly employed through our business.
Well, we're always hiring.
Yeah, we've got.
Yeah, well, obviously, do you know Matt Taylor's not here anymore?
We might
I just thought of today, I thought we haven't had Matt on the show for ages. Because I'm just used to the old mate being here, I forgot he wasn't here. Hello, Matt. From Mad Punter.
We've still got his chairs, but one of them went off the other day.
Yeah, it's gone.
He's still sitting on his chairs.
There he is.
Mad Punter, this was the announcement that came through the week, and it just happened after the Masters, after your man Jordan Spieth had a bit of a bad day.
Yeah.
Johnny O'Shea and James McDonald joined at Jordan Spieth as part of the Under Armour family, which is that clothing brand, Glenn. And Mad Punter said it appears that this is genuine. I was half expecting it to be a joke relating back to Spieth's recent collapses.
Wow, fancy that.
Yeah, so the worldwide Godolphin brand is now Under Armour.
What's Under Armour?
It's a brand. It's that. They've got all the. It's that sort of
golf brand, is it?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Sporting.
I don't know. I don't watch any sport, but I think it's that brand that looks like. You got that one. You've seen it. I think.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I think they've got like a lot of the big names in the US. You know.
Right, there it is.
Yeah.
All right, there it was. What wasn't a joke, Mad Punter? That's our part 2. Good job,